They said week 1 that Kirk Cousins looked like a deer in headlight. Well, that means Monday night, it's time for the hunters to go hunting. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here, and it's true. It is true. Monday Night Football is going to be electric as the Eagles are going to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, Mr. Prime Time. Psych, he stinks. That's why the Eagles need to get this pass rushing going, and they need to get it going quick. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but we got a few Eagles things going on I want to talk about. First thing, we lost a 6th-round pick today. Did you guys hear? Get this. Whitney Holzman wrote this. You're saying, who the hell is that? She's an agent of who? Of Dylan McMahon, the Eagles' 6th-round pick who they got in the draft. I'm very excited that my client, Dylan McMahon, is headed to the Rams to sign with their active roster from the Eagles practice squad. Go Dylan. Jim Kempsky wrote this. The Eagles' biggest surprise cut, in my opinion, thought he was camp-worthy of a spot on the 53. Now, you know why he didn't make the 53-man roster, right? You know why? Because they had to keep James Bradberry. You had to keep James Bradberry, and you couldn't move him. You had to cut somebody. And Dylan McMahon was the guy. Now, am I that super worried about a 6th-round pick going to the Rams? Not really, but it is a little bit annoying because, you know, when you have a kid, especially on the offensive line, especially for the Eagles, and then you have a coach, an offensive coach like Stoutland, you want him to develop these guys. And it would have been nice to see if he could have developed, but the Eagles do now have a practice spot available. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they could think of something and get Hassan Reddick back or something. Psych, I know, it ain't going to happen. They ain't getting Hassan Reddick back. Hassan Reddick didn't even play yesterday. You see this? He's already missing games. Like, this holdout is legit, man. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly in New York. And, oh, by the way, the Jets cost me money last night. Thank you, Jets. You stunk. You stunk last night. And speaking of stinks, all right, there are 2 kinds of stinks. There's the kind of stink you can't fix. You can't help. I'm talking about Dallas Cowboys type stinking, okay? Where your own players are talking and dreaming about playing on your rivals. That kind of stink you can't get out. Dallas stinks and they always will. But there's another kind of stink. There's a kind of stink you can control, you can fix. And maybe one day if you decide that you want to come out of your mom and dad's basement and you want to, you know, maybe go talk to a girl, but you want to smell fresh and good, well, maybe you should check out this product. Shout out to Mando for sponsoring this video. And let me tell you, this is refreshing, this smells good, and this is why Philly 500 has been married for 18 years, because Philly 500 never smells bad. He don't stink like the Cowboys. But Mando, this is great stuff. I was recently contacted by a company called Mando, and they said, would you like to try our starter pack? I said, sure. So they sent it out to me and had a bunch of stuff in there. Deodorant wipes, cream, body wash, and I've tried the stuff out for a while now, and it's been absolutely awesome. Not only do you smell good all day, it lasts like 8 to 12 hours. It feels great, but you also don't have that feeling of having a bunch of chemicals on you too when you put it on. It's aluminum free, baking soda free, cruelty free, dye free stuff. Is really, really good, and it was created by a doctor. So if you got that cowboy stink, you can't get that off. But if you're maybe sitting in your basement and you want to talk to a chick, well, put some Mando on, smell good, maybe you'll have some confidence. All you got to do is go to shopmando.com, and you'll get $5 off your starter pack. Just try the starter pack out. That's over a 40% discount. Just use promo code Philly500. That's right, Philly500, and get $5 off your starter pack. Smell good, and maybe talk to some girls. That will be a good thing. We talk Eagles, we double Moonwalk Cowboys, and we're getting guys to talk to chicks because they get confidence, because they finally smell good. How do you think I've been married for 18 years? Shout out to Mando. Go check him out right now.
Ooh. Saquon Barkley adding to this Eagle offense, I think, was better than a lot of people ever imagined. I think Saquon has a chance to be Offensive Player of the Year in this new offense. I mean, receiving touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, over 100 total all-purpose yards. It looked very dynamic, and he looked very explosive. He looked very back to normal Saquon. I tweeted that the Giants should be under investigation. You know why? Because how do you let this explosive weapon go to an NFC rival?
Now, speaking of stinks, isn't it interesting that Micah Parsons could not wait to get on his podcast and talk about Barkley winning Offensive Player of the Year? Isn't it funny to you that Micah Parsons, future Eagle Micah Parsons, is already looking at the Eagles and salivating? This guy wants to be an Eagle so bad, it's not even funny. It isn't even funny. Micah Parsons, just get a few more years, man. They can't pay all those guys in Dallas. But, yeah, he's loving the Eagles. And why shouldn't he? Saquon Barkley is an absolute stud. Jalen Hurts is going to have a monster year. And I don't care what people say about Jalen Hurts, because I think Jalen Hurts played much better than people are acting like. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. But one of the things we've been crying about all off season, well, not so much me, but other people, about how he can't handle the blitz, and it's going to be a problem. Well, it looks like Jalen Hurts has done some work on picking up the blitz this year. Change player, pound Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts had the best passer rating against the blitz in week 1. Hurts, 158.3. Darnold, 158.3. Mayfield, 152.6. Allen, 143.1. Stroud, 136.6. So Jalen Hurts handled the blitz really, really well in that first week. Yeah, there were some mistakes. Yeah, there are things to fix up. But he handled it pretty well. So I think that's a very, very good sign. And that's what I see with this team. I see tremendous upside. I see tremendous potential. And I think this team is only getting started. Now, we got a big game versus the Atlanta Falcons, and we'll break it down in detail. But right now, the Falcons, and what we're hearing about Kirk Cousins, is he don't look good. He don't look good. They said he looks like a deer in headlight, hardly moving in the pocket. They said that the last game was the least amount of yards he's ever moved in the pocket. He's a sitting duck right now. He's sitting duck, and he's worried about his injury. And that's a big deal. If that's in your head and you got the whole Sam Stinkford thing going on, because that was his problem too, you've got to take advantage of it. One of the things we know about the Kirk Cousins and his teams with Minnesota and when he was with Washington, he does not play well on primetime. He does not. He stinks. Not the stink you can fix with Mando, but the stink that is always there. He can't play on primetime. He's not a good quarterback in primetime. Now you have the Atlanta Falcons are 0-1, and they got a lot of pressure coming in against the Eagles. What we need to see from this team and what needs to happen is our edge rushers need to get home. Our guys need to get home. I know that they're going to send the blitz. I know that Ball's going to have a good game. Hopefully Devin White will be in there, and they'll use him in the blitz too. Now, I'm not saying that I think Nakobe Dean should lose that starting job. I think you got to go with the young hot hand. But the Eagles need those edge rushers to step up. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. They got to step up. Where is Bryce Huff? He needs to show up. To me, this is the game. If we go in this game and we can't generate pressure on Kirk Cousins, that's going to be a problem, especially if he's a deer in headlight and he's worried about his recovery from his injury and he can't move in the pocket well. The Eagles have to take advantage of this. So you have to get home. You're going to have to blitz, and you're going to have to hope those edge rushers get through. I think this is a big test today, this week. This is a big test. If we come out of this week and we got no pressure from Bryce Huff, and you got no pressure from Nolan Smith, then I think there's a problem. I do. Can it get fixed? Sure. But I'm expecting those guys to have a big game. Here's what I actually think. I actually think Bryce Huff is going to get 2 sacks in this game. I'm calling it now. 2 sacks. And Jalen Hurts, no turnovers. How about that? You like that? I like that. How can you not like that? But in all seriousness, this pass rush has to get home. And I do. I sit there and I fantasize. I'm like, oh, man, what would it be like to get Haason Reddick back? Man, imagine if we had Haason Reddick on this team right now. A real closer. He didn't even play in the 49ers. The 49ers game, he didn't even play. He's now missing paychecks. And the thing is if, I joke around trading him back and say it, but the truth is, if I think about it logically, if he came back right now, he wouldn't be ready. He's missing games right now. When these guys hold out like that, they usually don't have a great year. Maybe he would be good at the end of the year. I don't know. We're going to need Bryce Huff to step up. We're going to need Nolan Smith. Bryce Huff to step up, Nolan Smith to step up. We need those edge rushers. Josh Sweat's another one. He's a double-digit sack guy. He has had good years within his career, more than one. Now, in that game versus the Packers, I thought, besides the field being horrible, I thought Jalen Carter got held all day, even Josh Sweat. But in this game, you're not going to have those issues in terms of the field. They got to go out, and they're going to have to get to the quarterback. It's simple to beat Kirk Cousins. Get pressure on him, and it's always been like this. You get pressure on Kirk Cousins, then he folds. Primetime games especially, he folds. And if he's a deer in headlight right now, and he is not moving in the pocket, and he's worried about his injury, you have to take advantage of that, and you have to take advantage of that early. They're going to have to get pressure. This is a game where the edge rushers have to get home. This is a good test for them. If they can't produce in this game, then yes, for the first time, I will honestly say openly that I am legitimately concerned about our edge rushers. But I expect Bryce Huff to have a good game, Josh Sweat, and I think they'll be able to get home, and I know that they'll use the blitz to do it too. The guy we're going to have to definitely worry about is Bijan Robinson. To me, if I'm the Falcons, I'm going to use the hell out of Bijan Robinson. I think the Eagles have to be a little bit better against the run in this game. If you look at the first half of the game versus the Packers, the Eagles did a really good job versus the run. Second half, not so much. I think Jacobs only ran for like 80 yards, but like most of it came in that second half. So they got to be a little bit better rushing the playing against the run, and they got to get home against Kirk Cousins. I'm telling you, if they get home during Kirk Cousins, this game is a wrap. It's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a good game for the Eagles anyways, but I think this is the test. This has to be the coming out party for Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith. Josh Sweat has to say, I'm still here. I'm not going mother humping anywhere, and that's the way it has to be. The Eagles, that's what's going to happen in this game. And if it don't work out and you need to go out and make a move by the trade deadline, then yes, I'm eyeing Khalil Mack. That's the guy I'm eyeing, because the Eagles, they're going to have to do something by the trade deadline if these guys can't generate pressure. The only way we generated pressure, I'm sorry, in that last game, it seemed, was the blitz. Bourne had 2 sacks. You're going to have to get some pressure with that front, and they're going to have to start to get home. So this is a big test for Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith. And I say, don't kill the guy yet. Let's see what he does this week. If he goes out there, he has a big game, and then we're good to go. But these edge rushers, this pass rush has to deliver now. This is the game where you have to go out and double moonwalk that ass. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. All right, so we got some Eagles news, breaking mother humping news happening during this video. The Eagles released linebacker Brandon Smith and wide receiver Griffin Herbert. They signed wide receiver Danny Gray and defensive back A.J. Woods. Now, if you look at it, Gray is a third-round pick of the 49ers. So the Eagles are signing every 49ers third-round pick. They had Danny Gray, third-round pick in 2022, to the practice squad. They also have Tyrion Davis-Price, who was a third-round pick in 2022 by the Niners. And then they had Trey Sermon, last year or the year before, he was a third-round pick. So the Eagles signing 49ers third-round picks to their practice squad. It is what it is. Denzel Washington out.
Hi, Michael Anthony, Fitness here, MAF.
That's all, folks.